Yeah. Shoot. I saw the opening. Give me a second. Where's the stats at? Where's the stats at? Where's the... Oh, come on. Welcome back, Richardson. Colts win 28-27 against the New York Jets. What a win. What a game. What a welcome back game from Richardson, especially. Play good, play bad, play horrendous. I really didn't care. I would have rather had Richardson in because, again, like I said, if we win, maybe... Shoot, my bad. If we win, we might have a chance at something. And if we lose, better draft picks. And, of course, above all, we're going to see how Richardson plays. But Richardson had a lights-out game after his benching. Even I'm surprised. And I had a lot of hope for Richardson. He had an amazing game. I just showed you the stats. 20-30, 272 yards, 1 touchdown. And on the rushing, 10 carries, 32 yards, 2 touchdowns. And one of those was the game-winning touchdown. It was 2 minutes 30 left for the drive. And this dude, Richardson, almost plays lights out. So thank you, Richardson, for playing amazing. I always had hope in you to do that. And any haters, any Richardson haters, you can go walk out the door, or you can apologize. You can do either one of those. I don't really mind. But Richardson is back. The Colts looked pretty good today, and we got a good win over the New York Jets, who are having a pretty bad season, I do admit. But it's still a huge win. Especially with Richardson coming back. The fact that he's played good, shows me that he's locked in now after his benching. I don't think he deserved to be benched in the first place, but, the past now. We can't really talk too much about it now. But glad to see him back, and glad to see him play good. But other than Richardson, the whole Colts team had a day, at least in the first half. If you look at, the score, it was 13-7 coming to the half. But we basically locked them up until the last 2 minutes of that second quarter. They didn't get one first down until that last drive in that second quarter. They had 10 yards on passing until that last drive on the second quarter. So the defense started off amazing. Then the defense became the defense. And you know what I'm talking about if you are a Colts fan. The defense became the defense. It started giving up big runs, big passes on third down, like we all know and love, or all know and hate, because we all hate that. But at the end, I do admit, it started to get a little better. Got some key stops. Gave Richardson enough time to get down the field, get that game-winning drive, and on the last drive that the Jets had it, they forced a fumble on Aaron Rodgers, not Rodgers, but the Jets did pick it up, but they were pushed back far. Then they got a quick pass down the middle, and Kwity Paye, unfortunately had a boneheaded game, or was it Kwity Paye? It was EJ Speed. I'm sorry, Kwity Paye. Kwity Paye actually was the one that got the game-sealing sack, so I'm sorry for defacing Kwity Paye's name. But EJ Speed had a bad delayed game call. Dude's literally pushing the guy down when he's trying to get up, get the ball. It didn't happen. It didn't matter in the end because Kwity Paye got that game-winning sack to end the game. But you can't do that, and of course, like I said, Kwity Paye got through the line, got the sack, and won us the game. So overall, pretty good game from both sides of the ball at first. Then the defense started to lag. And I do admit, Richardson didn't play perfect. He fumbled twice. He lost one. And the other one, it was a botched handoff on Jonathan Taylor. You can blame that on Taylor. You can blame that on Richardson. You can blame that on either one of them. but it was a botched handoff to Taylor, and Richardson lands on it, so that's good. But he did not play perfect, which you'd expect from a QB that's had 11 total starts. But the fact that he played really good and he won us the game is enough for me to forgive him for that. So overall, really good game on both sides of the ball, even though our defense did start to lag. And, even though we play the Lions next week and we're probably going to get mollywopped by 75, it's still a good, inspiring win. And a key win for our playoff hopes, because even if we lose to the Lions, we have a really easy stretch of the schedule after the Lions. Play like Patriots, Broncos, teams like that. So, key win. I'm very happy. And now, let's get into the stats. Like I already mentioned, Anthony Richardson had a really good game. 20 for 32, 72, 1 touchdown, along with 10 for 32 carries and 2 touchdowns on the ground, along with the game-winning rushing touchdown. Taylor had a pretty quiet game. He was playing really good in the first half, and then in the second half, he got locked up, but let's be honest. Now, we can contribute that to the O-line, because our O-line had 3 rookies today. The O-line was terrible. The O-line couldn't block. The O-line couldn't do anything right. I'm surprised they even allowed 2 rushing touchdowns to happen, considering how bad they were playing. But, a win is a win. So, and Adonai Mitchell, he had 1 carry for 2 yards. That was an interesting play call. But for receiving, Josh Downs led receiving for today. 5 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Pierce caught 3 for 74. Pittman, who I think it might be time to have a conversation about Pittman, a tough, rough conversation, because let's be honest, he's not playing the best ball that he really should be living up to. There was a throw by at Richardson at the end of the half where it was straight in Pittman's hands and he just dropped the ball. That would have got us in the field goal range. Now, actually, Matt Gay had a pretty good day. We'll see what those stats are, but that would have got us in the field goal range, and obviously those 3 points could have been crucial if the Jets went down and kicked the field goal, which luckily didn't happen. But it would have been 31-30. So, but Pittman, he leveled out, had a pretty okay day. 5 catches for 46 yards. Adonai Mitchell had 1 big catch for 33 yards. That honestly should have been a catching touchdown. He got his knee down just barely at the 1. He should have had a touchdown there, but Richardson still got the touchdown in the end there, so good for Richardson, not for Mitchell, who really should have that touchdown. But Mo Cox, 2 for 17. Ogletree, 1 for 8. Granson, 1 for 4. Sermon came in, caught 1 for 3. And Taylor also caught 1 for 3. Now, our defense, like I said, pretty good on the day, at least in the first half. Started to taper off, but again, won the game. Kenny Moore led with tackles. He was having a pretty good day. 6 tackles, 2 assists. Kwity Paye, 2 sacks. 6 tackles, 1 assist. Game-winning sack, so good on him. Other than that, Latu got a sack. He also, I believe, got a tackle for loss. So good on Latu. I don't know where the Defensive Rookie of the Year race is at, but maybe you can put him in it. Who knows? For a total of only 3 sacks on Aaron Rodgers is, not the best, but we'll take it. Anthony Richardson on the defense. Kick returns, Goodson and Doolin both returned at least 1. Doolin returned 1 for 43. Goodson had a pretty good day on kick returns, 3 for 71. And Downs had 3 kick returns for 37 yards. And Matt Gay, major respect to Matt Gay. He hit a 50-yarder. He hit a 56-yarder. And it was down the middle. It wasn't hooking. It wasn't going left to right. It wasn't short or anything. It was straight down the middle. Straight what you want out of him. So Matt Gay may be starting to regain his former form. Other than that, he also kicked 2 more for a total of a perfect 3 for 3, as long as obviously 56 and 10 total points on the day. And Rigoberto Sanchez punted 4 times for 200 yards, a perfect 50 on his average. Now going on to the Jets. Oh, shoot. My bad. Going on to the Jets stats. Aaron Rodgers didn't have a bad game either. It's Aaron Rodgers. He's obviously going to play well. Sometimes. Not too much this season, but you'd never count him out, obviously. He threw 22 for 29, 184 yards and 2 touchdowns. Of course, most of that comes in the second half, considering in the first half we were locking them up. Breece Hall had himself a day. Not only 16 carries for 78 yards and a touchdown, but he also had 7 catches for 43 yards and a touchdown, so you got to clap it up for him. He cooked us. Rodgers ran 1 time for 7 yards. Even though he's old, he can still run. Allen ran 2 times for 6 yards. And Conklin on a 4th and 1, a crucial 4th and 1, because we got a field goal off of that. If we didn't get that stop there, we would have lost. But crucial 4th and 1, they gave it to Conklin. They didn't get it. Major props to our defensive line. That was in the first half when everyone was playing lights out. So, good job on them for that. It really won us the game, too, if you look back at it. For receiving, I was worried because I had Davante Adams on fantasy, and my fantasy team is like 4-6, and if I lose again this week, I'm probably not going to the playoffs. But Davante Adams picked it up near the end like I expected him to. 6 catches, 72 yards. Breece Hall, like I said, 7 for 43 and a touchdown. Garrett Wilson, quiet day today for him. Only 4 catches for 18 yards. Gibson caught 1 for 17. Yeboah, the tight end, caught 1 for 11 and a touchdown. Corley caught 1 for 10. Conklin caught 1 for 7. And Rucker caught 1 for 6. For their defense, they had surprisingly 2 sacks. Another thing that I'd like to point out for Richardson, in his case, he wasn't making as much hero ball plays as he was before. You know, Richardson's kind of known for the boneheaded plays that lead to turnovers. And there was one where he was clearly getting sacked and he flicked the ball. Now, it didn't result in a fumble, but that was still like a stupid play, obviously. I'm not going to defend him on that. But, you know, he didn't make as much hero ball plays. He went down 1 time when he could have threw the ball away. And, of course, since he's super athletic, he escaped a lot of sacks, too, obviously. But, you know, didn't make the boneheaded plays, kept the ball safe for the most part, not on that fumble, of course. So I'm proud of him. I said that before. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm proud of him for this game. But 2 sacks on the day for them, 1 by Williams and 1 by Kinlaw. And Williams also led the defensive tackles for 5 tackles and 2 assists. And Sauce Gardner, he got burned by Pierce at the end of the game. Just saying. For punt returns and kick returns, Davis returned 1 punt for 24 yards. Gibson returned 3 punts for 19 yards. I meant Davis returned 1 kick return, but same thing really. Carlson, he came in, had his long field goal of his career. He had along a 55, came in, kicked a 58 straight down the middle. Well, not straight down the middle. It kind of was hooking a bit. Barely went through the corner, but, you know, happy for him. Didn't contribute us to losing, so happy for him, obviously. If that was what lost us the game, I'd be pretty mad at that. But, you know, since it didn't, good on him. He also had another kick for a total of 2 perfect kicks on the day and 9 points. They're punting. Morstead punted 5 times for 277 yards, and he was inside the 21 time. For total team stats, it was almost a rout. It was pretty close. 332 to 253 for total yards. That's because we had more passing yards, 80 in total, nearly. 241 to 162 passing yards. But for rushing, we were both on the mark, 91 each. For yards per play, we barely edged them out for 4.9 to 5. We had 18 first downs. They had 10. We were 6 and 15 on third down. They were only 4 for 13. And we went for 2 fourth downs. We didn't get one. I do not remember that play. I'm sorry. I don't remember that play. But we got another one. And then they went for 1. They didn't get it, like I mentioned. Total plays, we had 67. They had 62. We allowed 2 sacks. They allowed 3. We punted 4 times. They punted 5 times. Refs, you know, they weren't egregious, but they did not bow the Jets at all. So, something to say? No, I don't really mind. It didn't cost. The refs didn't cost them the game. They were pretty fair. We lost a fumble. They did not turn over the ball, other than that turnover on downs, which, you know, with how our defense is playing, I would have liked the turnover. But even though we did lose the turnover battle, we still won. And honestly, I think for the first time this season, we led time of possession 35-25. So, again, proud of the team in general. They played a really good game today. I think, don't get me wrong, I might be wrong, but I think this is the first time this season where we actually led time of possession. So, I'm happy for that. But, other than that, 5-6. So look at the standings. Obviously, for the whole season, we've been second in the division. Texans really need to get some losses in. We're 2.5 games back right now. Or maybe 3.5, I'm not sure. 2.5, because they've won 6 games, we've won 5, and they have the tiebreaker. And the Titans and Jaguars continue to be terrible. 2 for 8, 2 for 9. Good to see them play bad, because they were getting a lot of hype in the offseason. Of course, we're probably not winning the division, but this makes it a little easier to get into the playoffs, maybe? I don't see it happening, in my opinion, but it's a possibility. It's not 0%. We basically just gotta hope, if it will go back, we basically gotta hope, the Broncos lose today, because I believe they're 1 game ahead. We gotta hope the Chargers lose. Oh, Bills took a 6-0 lead. We gotta hope, Chargers, Bills lose, Bengals lose, because they're right next to us. Yeah, that's really what we gotta root for right now, if we want to sniff the playoffs. By the way, Jaguars got absolutely destroyed. But that's really all I have to say. Proud of the team, proud of the win. Grateful for Anthony Richardson coming back. And, that's all for today. I'll see you guys next week. And peace. Shoot.